Black women are the only demographic in this country that loves America. I said it. That's clearly what it is. Black women are the only group in this country that loves America. We are the only group that shows consistently with our vote that we love this country and that we are willing to vote not only for what would help us, but for all. Black women are the only group that vote in the interest of all, and we keep showing up to try to save this country, and people keep being like, nah, actually, fuck you. That's what keeps happening. Black women get treated the worst because people who are non-white want to aspire to whiteness because they hope that if they get close enough to whiteness, that they get the benefit of whiteness, or that the white people will forget that they are not white. And the same with white women. You hope that your whiteness and your alignment with whiteness will help white men to forget that you are a woman, and that your whiteness will save you. And also, white women are kind of used to being subjugated, and they're much more okay with it than we realize. But black women are the only people who love this country. You cannot tell me any different. The numbers say it. The numbers say that black women are the only people who really give a fuck about maintaining this country. And the rest of y'all finna learn, the rest of you non-blacks are finna learn that they think y'all are black women too. They think y'all are black women too. They just use the fact that you don't want to be black and you don't want to be a black woman to manipulate you. They want to use the fact that you want to be white and that whiteness is a beacon to you to weaponize your own ignorance and your own desires against you. You'll never be white. You'll never be white, and white people will never respect you. They will never respect you, and that is the only thing that you have left to figure out. And then we'd be fine. But honestly, fuck y'all. And furthermore, as it relates to black men and poor white men, that patriarchy has y'all in a chokehold because you feel like you're right up against it. You feel like the only thing that's holding you back from having absolute power is getting rid of your blackness or getting rid of your poverty. It's so much to unpack here. I could write a whole thesis. I'm tired. Actually, get out my face.
You know, black women have historically been the most consistent and loyal voting bloc for the Democratic Party since we got the right to vote during the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Despite that, we are constantly taken advantage of and never given full credit for our contribution for shaping America to be more progressive and equitable than it's ever been before.
Percent of black women, according to CNN exit polls, voted for Vice President Kamala Harris to become the first black woman president of the United States. Now, black women were 7% of the electorate. No other demographic across race or gender, age, income, education, married, rural, suburban, nobody supported either candidate so abundantly. Now, black women have long been the backbone of the Democratic Party, but it warrants repeating.
And what has happened in this election, despite me not agreeing with Kamala on a number of different issues, I don't believe fundamentally that she was ever set up for success. I also don't believe that race and gender didn't play a major role on why a lot of Trump supporters did not vote for her, especially when the opposition to her is a man who was convicted of rape, is a man who has not been successful. I think he filed for bankruptcy more than 6 times, is a man who has constantly cheated and lied and manipulated his way into leadership, even though he lacks all the qualifications.
Important than who they voted for is what they say they were voting for. Because you know what the most important issue for Harris voters was? According to CNN exit polls, it was not foreign policy. It wasn't the economy. It wasn't immigration. It wasn't abortion rights. It was American democracy. Think of it. This is a country that has never elected a black woman governor. Of the more than 11,500 members of Congress in the history of America, 60 have been black women. That's about 0.5%. And next session, 2 black women will serve in the Senate together for the first time ever. Angela Alsobrooks of Maryland, and Lisa Buck Rochester of Delaware. And still, so many black women voted to protect the democracy of a country, let's make it plain here, that for centuries denied their grandmothers and their great-grandmothers full participation in it. So yeah.
You know, one of my mutuals a few weeks ago talked about how, and it made me realize that I'm actually in the same boat, that her mother was born before the Voting Rights Act of 1965. And she is the first generation to have full access to her voting rights in this country. You know, it's very easy, and even sometimes I have to check myself, that we oftentimes will see America as a failed experiment because we haven't received every single thing that we deserve. But we've come so far. And the fact that even though this country was never built with black women in mind, we still voted historically to protect the idea of what this democracy could be. And America showed his ass.
You know, I'm listening to what these women are saying, and I think I have to challenge them. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Also, click on the bell below so that if I put out any other videos, you'll be alerted, okay? So please click that bell. So let's get to it. So most black women feel that they are the backbone saving of America, that's saving democracy. You know, they're going on and on about this stuff. And let's get one thing straight. Black women are using the excuse that it's deeply rooted in historical trauma, systemic neglect, and strategic survival. Well, I agree with the strategic survival, okay? So let's go back. When Democrats started to recognize black people, it's because they knew they could not win the White House on just the white vote, okay? They needed something to keep power. So they continue supporting, I call it black ideology. And then when the 60s came and you had the Civil Rights Act, Lyndon B. Johnson took the strategy and he magnified it by God knows how much. And by doing so, he created a loyal following. And that's especially with black women. See, black men will probably be one of the hardest because during the Jim Crow era, black women aligned with their husbands, loved ones, or so forth. They aligned with them. They supported them. And if you look at it, a lot of things was accomplished, even though they were going through some financial struggles and a lot of barriers in their way. They were able to achieve a lot by creating hotels, schools, universities and colleges. Banks. They've done so much and they built wealth. Remember, the first female to become a millionaire in this country was a black woman, and she grew up during Jim Crow. So you have to ask yourself, if that was the case, what's going on now? So, Civil Rights Act passed, the Voting Rights Act passed, and black women are getting preferential treatment. So this is where the strategy comes in. So, black women, as you know, today, over 90% of black women voted Democrat in 2024. Over 90. And they're not voting because they think that Democrats have their back. They know Democrats don't have their back. They've been venting about this for the longest. It's because Democrats have created policies whereby they would get like SNAP, you know, all these benefits to go to college and so forth. This is why black women are the most educated. Okay, even though for some reason I just can't. I don't know why there's certain failures when it comes to being CEOs and things like that. But black women are the most educated group by race and gender in America. And this is causing black women to be the breadwinners while degrading black men. And so the reason why I talk about this is because you hear black women say, support black women, stand with black women. We are strong together, and vote Democrat all the time. That's one thing. But the fact that you had Obama come out and talk about supporting a black woman, you got Democrats talking about support, black Democrats, especially females, talking about support a black female. We want black females. And you have this lady Sears running in the Virginia race, and NAACP, all of them are saying, vote for the white woman, not the black woman. And that should tell people a lot. It should tell you that it doesn't matter who you are. They just care about the party. The party only cares about power. And these black women want to continue using their strategy to reap the benefits, because black men aren't reaping the benefits. They are struggling. I just did a video about child support reform, whereby it shows that even though men are affected of all races, the ones who suffer the most are black and brown men, and black women continue pushing the agenda for black men to go through the real struggles because child support is holding them back. They're not getting the jobs that they want. They're not able to bring in the kind of income to sustain a family, to support their child. They can only get fry cook jobs and things like that. So now this criminal record is growing and they're resorting to criminal activities. The behavior is bad, and it's just, the cycle is just continuing, and we're going down and down. And black women continue rising because they're the ones who's able to get that college education, to get those good paying jobs. And you'll see them the ones driving. They can get a license, while there are men who you'll see driving a car who have no license. And I'm not saying all black men. What I'm saying is that it is a lot, and I mean a lot. And when you owe over 115 billion to child support, there's a big failure. That means your current system that Democrats, Bill Clinton, signed into law is not working. So we really need to look at what they mean when they say support black women, because from what I see, it's dooming black men.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got help here, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? I'm not. But, you know, because of Pookie might be. and you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
So you see how Obama wants you to vote for this woman because she's black, and he claims that Kamala Harris grew up like us, which that is far from the truth. But okay, Obama, you want to keep peddling lies to us. And that she went to the same college, and because she did all of this, and she supposedly had some great plan for blacks, which would have probably bankrupt us, we were supposed to vote for Kamala Harris. But I play these videos with what black men are going through, especially with black women. And why I'm talking about this is because black men are starting to wake up and realize that no matter which direction we go, we are doomed. Okay? And it doesn't matter how hard they try. Once again, like I stated, you have Trump doing criminal justice reform, which Democrats at first was not going to go for it until. You have child support laws that disproportionately destroying more black and brown men than any other race. Okay? And black men find themselves being one of the poorest in America, which means that they are going to resort to making fast money, which now keeps that bad behavior flowing in their heads. And when you try to get them away from that bad behavior, they always say they don't see any other way. This is the only road for them to survive. And I don't see black women standing up for that. So when I hear black women telling black people to support them, they won't even support this lady who's running for governor of Virginia, and she's black.
I love this for us.
Abigail Spanberger and with some Earle-Sears. And the first thing I thought is, I didn't know James Brown was trying to be governor of Virginia.
No, he did not. No, he did not. Talk about the black girl and her hair. Female white. So we have apples and apples. We have two women, y'all. And the Democrats, not only are they saying, not the celebrities, not only are they saying go with the white female, they are insulting the black candidate, insulting her, saying she looks like James Brown. What the? Y'all don't say nothing else to me about supporting President Trump. Please don't, because y'all have made it very clear in this right here has made it very clear that y'all care about interest. Y'all care about alliances. Y'all care about allegiance to the Democrat Party. And whenever the brown skins, whether they be Byron Donald or Kim Klacik, whenever they decide that they don't want to be on the Democrat side, and they want to be a Republican, y'all jump ship. It's because you're basically saying that you're going for your interests. And so we're saying with President Trump, white as white can be, blonde-headed Amazonian. What do you call, like, President Trump is white. And we like him. Just like y'all like Spanberger. But y'all, I love this for Black Republicans because they was reaming us in 2024. We was not with the ditzy black girl or Indian girl or whatever she was. She was saying she was black, but Kamala Harris, you know she struggles, right? She don't know what she is.
I just want to say real quick, D.L. Hughley is the biggest joke in American history. I'm going to put it American history. Did you hear what he just said about this woman? Now, he's all pro-black, this black, this black, that, anti-racist, even though he's the biggest racist of them all. And yet, when Earle-Sears is running for governor of Virginia, he turns around and says he didn't know James Brown was running for governor. What an ignorant POS. And I'm just going to put it out there. What an ignorant piece of shit he is. He was never funny. And now he wants to be this pro-blackity black and never knows what he's talking about, on the wrong side of history. And he's probably one of the most ignorant men I've ever listened to in my life. Yet here he goes trying to be funny and is not funny as he make a joke about a black woman, yet he want black people to support black people. Make it make sense. What a bozo he is.
Do you remember last election when Obama lectured us black men and criticized us for not voting for a black woman? And now he's headed to Virginia to urge black people to not vote for Winsome Earle-Sears, who is a black woman. You can't make this mess up. This is why I tell you all, please do not listen to anybody that's associated with the Democratic Party, especially Barack Obama. Y'all have a good one.
You know, a lot of black people in America says America's racist. We can never get anywhere because white people hold us down and they don't want us to get any further and you got to watch out and all this stuff. But, you know, I went to a political meeting last night for a black woman here in Virginia who's running for governor. She's a lieutenant governor, and now she's running for governor. But you know, the interesting thing about this meeting was there were more white people there for this black woman than there was black people. Interesting, but think about it. Her opponent is white, Abigail Spanberger, who is a former CIA agent who did intel and some other stuff she did, personal stuff, but has never any relationship with the black community. The lieutenant governor, who is black, she was a former Marine. She's worked in homeless shelters. She's worked in other places that are really down to earth in the black community. Spanberger has probably never did any of that. I've never seen her with any black friends. Of course, as she's running for this office, I'm pretty sure she'll surround herself with plenty of black people now. But you would think that if you want a black person to succeed, you would support that black person. You would go out and vote for that black person. But the reason they won't is because she is a Republican. And that's a black mark on any black person. Don't forget it now. If you are a black Republican, I don't care if you walk on water, if you talk to Jesus, if you have a halo on your head, if you got that R over your name and you're black, you don't get the black vote because black people are so indoctrinated that it's voodoo or curse to vote for somebody that's black that has their interests but has an R or a Republican over their name. That's wrong for black America. That's wrong for black people. If you look at the two places, we figure out who is better support your cause and your issues within the Commonwealth of Virginia, you would take the person who has no relationship with black people, who have never been to a homeless shelter probably, who have never worked in a women's camp where like Sears did, Winsome Sears, and you would still vote against your interests. Tell me how that works in black America. So when you talk about racism, especially in Virginia, don't utter a word, because you will continue to destroy yourself by your vote, because they're deceiving you and thinking you that you're failing because you're programmed to do what other people say rather than think independently for yourself and vote for the right person. This is Gilbert Wilkerson. This is Black Society.
So I post this video because this is the truth. Black women are strategically empowering themselves while leaving others behind. Now, remember what I said. During Jim Crow, black women aligned themselves with black men as they created and built and grew, even though they were going through some real struggles and a lot of barriers in their way. They still were able to accomplish a lot. And now today, black women have basically pushed black men to the side. And even though black women are, I guess, I'm not going to say that they surpass, I want to say they did surpass black men in the income bracket. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But I can say that black women are really projected to go past that and then some, because they are receiving more education and more support than black men. You know, they do more entrepreneurship, if you notice that, and they are always politically engaged. Black men don't do this. Entrepreneurship, they think small. Black men think small. That's why they can't grow big, whereby black women probably hold much bigger thoughts and ideas than black men. So black women see black men as holding them back, you know, not supporting their dreams. Okay, while black men, and there could be some jealousy going on within this, but black men are actually being held back because, yes, we love jumping in bed with women and so forth. And even though that's one of our downfalls, the child support law still needs to be fair so that the father can be in all the kids' life, not just, you know, one or two. But education is the key to helping black men achieve a lot. And if we have black women that really care, they would invest their time and energy into building that relationship that was once there during Jim Crow. But unfortunately, we don't think like that. We're like crabs. We hold each other back. We got something to say, and we don't uplift each other. So that's what I have to say about that. Now, as far as Winsome Sears, she's not going to get any support from black people, especially black women, because once again, black women are strategically empowering themselves. Winsome Sears is a Republican who probably don't have the same mindset like most black Democrats. And so they're going to follow and probably vote in this lady, Abigail Sandberg. I don't know what her name is, who's running for the Virginia governorship also under the Democrat Party. And they're going to vote for her because she's more aligned with their plans or agenda, like SNAP programs, continuing receiving handouts, and helping them get more into, because if you ever notice, I mean, please take a look at it. When Democrats are in power, who do they choose? It's not black men, it's black women. The Supreme Court, the Biden administration, look who they had. Now show me the strong, powerful black men in there. No, I didn't see any. I see supposedly strong black women Okay, the DEI, who they pick? Black women. It's not black men, because the separation, the division was real during LBJ, and it's still going on today. And black women are helping to bring down black men. And that's the truth. And people are going to hate me for it, but it's the truth. Black women, I said this in an earlier video, black women are destroying black men, and they don't care. Because like I said, this is a strategic plan for empowerment. And they're doing a great job at it, but yet we're still going to fall to fourth in population because of our stagnant growth. We're not growing. We're allowing abortions to take over. Our kids are going to prison a lot. Black women are not sticking around. I guess black men too, but this is the truth. And until we face the truth, I don't know what else to say. Angela Stanton King is probably one of the most strongest black women I've ever listened to. I wish I could meet her. And just like I got a chance to talk to a woman named Laverne Spicer, and I've always wanted to talk to her because she keeps it real. She'll say it like it is. She could care less what you think. She's going to tell you the truth. And I appreciate her for that. And you got to listen to her show because she's really on point with what some of the stuff she says. So Laverne Spicer, please listen to her. But yeah, listen to what Angela Stanton King is saying.
Black women do not care about black men, okay? Black women, unfortunately, sis, and I know y'all coming to beat me up, and I ain't talking about all us, but I'm talking about the majority. They don't even care about their children. They would rather abort their children than to give them life, okay? Black people, black men, right? You at some point, you're going to have to pick a side, right? Black men have to come back into the forefront, and you all have to take a lead if you all want to save black life. Right? Because a black woman, she can go anywhere, right? To get what she feel like she needs, right? Who's going to be there for you? Who's going to save you? I hope y'all not waiting on us. Because I damn sure can't do it by myself.
You, when you ran for Congress,
black woman won't listen to no man.
They won't listen to black men.
She won't listen to a black man. She'll listen to a white man.
Yeah. You don't think black women respect black men?
No. Most black women don't even respect their black daddies. Start there.
Where does that stem from? Does that stem from
the absence of their father? And it stems from the absence of their father and the words of their mother. I want to say it again. You asked me, where does it stem from? It stems from the absence of their father who don't have a voice in the words of their mother. The words of their mother shape the respect that they have for their father because he's absent.
I just had to throw that added part in from Charleston White. But yes, so this is, and please remember, this is all my perspective on how I see things. But black men are going to go through some struggles. And if black men don't get together, because we're starting to see the lies of the Democratic Party, because black men are suffering. Black men are the ones who's being incarcerated the most. Black men are the ones who's struggling financially. And even though there are some jobs that black women will not do, where black men will do, the roles are changing, and black women are starting to become the breadwinners while black men are falling. And so when they fall, not only do they lose their self-dignity, but then they receive no respect, especially from black women. As more black women, call the police on black men, failure to pay child support, maybe some type of argument. They don't see, we're not seeing each other as equal or as husband, wife. We see each other as, I don't know, enemies. It's getting bad, and it shows because this all was a plan since in the 60s when LBJ did the war on poverty by allowing black women to receive a lot of benefits while keeping the black man away from his family. It has destroyed us, our mindset. I'm one of them. I can admit to it. But at least now I'm trying to make a difference, hoping that we can end this struggle that we're going through in the future. If we could start addressing it today, we might be able to fix this problem, and we could see black men growing, not to be separated because black and white, but to be a part of a society where unity works instead of segregation, where we can now actually be seen as people, and we don't have to go through, this is a black person, this is a white person. We can be seen as people, and we can make real change, okay? But if we're gonna look at demographics and so forth, then we really need to fix ourselves, because we're about to fall to fourth in population. And if we fall to fourth in population, Democrats will not care, because Democrats will now have to entertain the Hispanics and the Asian Americans. The black Americans will come last. Because right now, Asian Americans come last because black Americans are third, which is so funny because we used to be second. Now we're third, and we're about to be fourth. So let that sink in. But besides that, people, thank you. I had a great time creating this video, and I hope to create more, okay? Please remember, do not listen to the Roland Martins and Mark Lamont Hill and them. They are setting you up for failure, big time. Let them talk about real issues within the black community, and then let's have real talk. But if you want to keep sitting there crying racism, and it's not racism that's destroying us, it's us, then if that's not what you want to talk about, then there's nothing to talk about. But until then, thank you guys. You guys have a blessed day. Please remember, like, subscribe, share this channel, and click the bell below so that any new videos come out, you can go ahead and watch whatever I put out. I'll be more than happy to talk about anything you want to talk about. You just let me know. You can reach me at themarcperspective@gmail.com or leave a comment below. In fact, I'll be looking out to see if there's any comments on this video so that I can respond. I've been responding to a lot on Facebook. Nobody's leaving comments here, but they are leaving comments on Facebook and on Twitter. But you can leave a comment here so that I can go ahead and address whatever concerns or anything you want to talk about. Until then, guys, y'all have a great day. Peace.